The weekend is over, but then the biggest game of the weekend, or should I say the biggest result of the weekend, definitely has to be Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 3. Most of us, never in 1,000 years would we. I mean, I used to say something that, any game 3-0 is walkover. It's almost like it did not show up. It would have been better if you just say, I'm 3 goals, 3 points, walkover scoreline, and that's what happened to Liverpool. In the past, we have been saying that it is not acceptable to be talking about sack at this point. Premier League winning manager in his first season. How can you just 10 games, 11 games into the season? How can you just call for a manager sack? But then, at this point in time, 12 games played, 6 games lost. Just 12 games into the season, title race is over. Because in the last 10 to 15 years, I don't think anything that lost 6 games ever won the Premier League. If you lose up to 6 games, you probably don't emerge as champion. So title race over. Top 4 race is in the balance. It's more likely they are not.
It's not even certain because they are not even in the top 10.
Should Ancelotti be fired to salvage Liverpool's season, or does he still have the capability to change this?
Yeah, for me, I think he should be sacked now if Liverpool wants to salvage their season. If they want to, challenge for top 4 or probably win maybe FA Cup, because title race, like you said, is over for them. I don't see them challenging or competing for title as we speak. And I think the only reason why Ancelotti is still in charge of Liverpool is perhaps because of the fact that he won the league in his debut season last season.
Exactly.
That's why they are still giving it. They are still like, oh, let's give him time to talk things out.
Yeah, exactly. You think that a title-winning manager? I mean, he was the best manager last season. Just a few months ago. Last season is like 3, 4, 5 months ago. You think that he suddenly has lost it and he doesn't have what it takes to turn this around?
That is what is happening now. He has lost it. He seems to lack ideas. He doesn't have ideas on how to actually turn things around for Liverpool. I mean, he made summer signings. He spent almost £500 million in the last summer, and then signed high-profile players and all of that. But it is not working for them this season. 6 losses in their last 7 Premier League games. 8 losses across the competition this season. That's the sacking run. If Ancelotti was just a random manager, if not for the fact that he won the league in his debut season, he would have been fired.
But is the one the league in the debut season that is still making me feel like maybe they should.
That's what I'm telling you, that if they don't want to sack him now, that means they have agreed and accepted that they are not going to compete for anything this season, because they are even in the FA Cup, because the FA Cup has not started. That's the only reason why they are still in the FA Cup. Out of Carabao Cup,
they are in the Champions League.
They are in the Champions. Can they win the Champions League? No, they cannot. With what we are saying now, and Nottingham Forest were the better side against them. 3-0 at
outplayed, outscored, out-attacked.
It was more or less like a throwback to what we saw last season, because they defeated them in Anfield.
I mean, at some point I was asking myself, is it Liverpool in white or Nottingham Forest?
It was very easy for Nottingham Forest. They defended deep, defended well, and then they hit on counter. That's what they did against Liverpool last season. And it's very clear that Liverpool is easy to play against this season. They are very easy to play against. They look short of ideas, and it's not don't even know how to influence decision in the game. A selection was wrong against Nottingham Forest. Started Alexander Isak, who is still finding his feet.
Who was coming straight from injury? I mean, how do you get it? Who just scored for France? Who just scored 2 goals for France?
So we can agree that the problem of Liverpool is not the players. They have players by far, maybe behind Arsenal. We can say they have the best squad. Maybe
on paper,
when you have one of the best strikers in the world, Alexander Isak, British record signing. You have Ekitike, another high-profile signing. Ferran Reed, best player in the Bundesliga. So which excuse are you? You don't have any excuse, no excuse. So for me, I think it might sound unpopular, and some people might have contrary opinion that he's a title-winning manager, just 12 games into the season, he can turn things around maybe before Christmas or January or February. It's still a marathon. The league is still a marathon. After 12 games, they still have more games to play. But looking at what is happening now, can you say this Liverpool? Can you say Ancelotti can turn things around with what we are seeing currently? For me, no. I think if you bring in a new manager with fresh ideology, you can turn things around with what we are saying. Liverpool they have materials, they have players, they have passes there. but they look short of ideas, and I think it's a coaching problem.
FAHAD, I still feel like it's a bit cruel that a manager who delivers success, you just easily let go of him.
So sorry, let me maybe say this. The success that he delivered last season, we can also attribute it to what he meant on the ground, judging cross players. Now that he's gotten his own
But
players.
Judging Club did not coach them.
Yeah, Judging Club did not coach them, but basically the same pattern, the same system, the same players. But now that he has gotten his own players, he's finding it difficult to manage the team. So it's showing that, and it's not his problem.
Now, if you look at big teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Real Madrid, if you are having this kind of run in this kind of teams,
They will have been gone.
You can see the likes of Julian Lopetegui, who was sacked. Thomas Tuchel, who was sacked. But now you are coming to Liverpool because I don't know. I don't say Liverpool is a small team, but then when you are looking at the pedigree, you imagine Barca, you kind of say Liverpool is a small team. But then you are coming. That's why you feel you want to give him probably Christmas to see if he can actually.
Christmas is why they turn up by
Get
I feel like Christmas. Christmas don't return.
So you look at it, it looks like.
So if you are saying that you give him to Christmas, you are practically saying it's fine now because once you come to now Christmas, you got about 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
So if you look at it, everything feels like he doesn't know what to do again. He has tried everything. He has tried plan A, he has tried plan B, he has tried plan A to Z. Nothing is working. So what's next? And you asked for these players, they got them for you. You wanted.
Well, was that the problem? Did Ancelotti shoot himself in the foot by his first transfer window, maybe not doing exactly what he wanted? Because for me, getting both Ekitike and Isaac is a sign that you don't know what you want. You can't have those two in the same team. Like I was cringing when Isaac was on the starting 11 and Ekitike was on the bench. I saw Ekitike with France. You don't pull that kind of 90 million pounds player.
But you are saying this because Liverpool are struggling. If they are performing, you will not say that having both Ekitike and Alexander Isak in the same team is criminal. As a matter of fact, it's even profitable for them to have two attacking potentials in that squad because I mean you are playing Champions League, you are playing so many games, defending champion, you want to retain your title, you want to go for Champions League, they were knocked out in the round of the state last season, so they want to go beyond that. And then you know Mohamed Salah is not the Mohamed Salah that we used to know because of course he's
was that also a mistake not allowing Salah just go so that he can move on?
Maybe, but then he won the league for them last season. It was practically their
you don't let go of the best team, best player in your team.
So I just feel that Arne Slot has shown us the real Arne Slot this season. That he's clueless. What he did
some people say that his bald head is starting to look like that.
Because if you cannot manage a big squad, then you cannot manage it.
Okay. We all agree now that fire in the slot. Fire in the slot and bring you.
Well, I'm not really saying fire in the slot because if you look at Ruben Amorim too, when he was at Manchester United, he was having this kind of run with Manchester United. That was even last season. And United, they didn't have a lot of things last season.
You called it disaster season.
This one is different from Amorim because Liverpool were the champions last season.
There's an expectation. There's a bar.
How person will win league now? No go even take top 10 this season. Their next game I can tell you for a fact that they can still lose their next. It's a winnable game for the opponent. Their next game.
Everything now.
You can easily play against them.
It still comes back.
Defensively they are porous.
But let's not forget one thing. They lost a player. That's Diogo Jota. Maybe you can probably say maybe the mental fatigue is still there on the fact that the solid depth of one of their players.
How much of the slack are we going to do?
I don't understand.
Allow them relegate.
Okay, there's still a more.
I'm going to allow them relegate.
There's still a more person on that. Make them more now. At the end of the season, anywhere they find themselves, next season they will come back.
But I still come back to that question. Who's next?
Maybe Oliver Glasner. They have some decent. Raula is there. Anthony Raula is there. There are some time that
these guys do not want to leave what they are doing right now. They don't want to leave the middle.
They are both doing well with their respective clubs. Right?
Yeah, yes. And I understand the fact that we are just saying it. The management of Liverpool, they would never want to sack, they would not want to sack at the slot now. But I'm just saying that if they want to compete for something, like something to tackle, maybe FA Cup, because I think FA Cup.
How about they just want to survive?
And they want to survive, they should stick with at the slot. Maybe you can turn this around later in the season to prepare for next season. But for this season,
let's not forget the season after Johnny Klopp won the title. They also had a similar run to this. But then Johnny Klopp still remained.
it wasn't like this.
But then it was a similar run. It was not this bad, but it was a similar run to this.
When you have lost 6 games out of
still
in the last 7 games
to last season.
Okay, and finally, you know what they say that when you are struggling, it feels like luck is also against you. Not that it matters to the final result, but then that goal that was allowed, was it the first goal where there was a player in the front of Alisson Becker? I mean, we just opposed it with the one that was ruled out just 2 weekends ago now against Manchester City. Was Liverpool unlucky? Were they on 2 wrong ends?
They were even lucky for that scoreline to be.
Because the one that they said
the one
that they said that was just.
But then I think they were unlucky actually
because because sometimes the first goal you concede can tell a lot. So should that goal have stood?
No, to me the goal shouldn't have stood because the player was in the line of sight of the goalkeeper.
If we are going to be sincere with ourselves, could Alisson Becker have reached?
Could he have saved that ball? Even if that guy no did it.
In game time to call it out.
He no fit save am.
Put out for Angu.
That ball na clear goal for me. It was a very clear goal.
Yeah, it was
honestly. You know what? The person that was even obstructing Alisson Becker, he didn't stay there until who scored that goal? Murillo.
Yeah.
He was there. Immediately Murillo wanted to shoot the ball, he left. If you watch the build-up of that goal, although he was obstructing during the build-up, they played the corner, Ndoye headed the ball back to Murillo, and then he quickly left. Immediately, Murillo wanted to shoot the ball. So for me, in that, they checked the VAR. For me, it was a clear goal. And that's why I'm saying that they were even fortunate for that scoreline to be 3-0. It was supposed to be 4. It would have been more.
But then if you look at it, the goal they disallowed against Manchester City, it was also something similar.
Where?
So that shows I think they just been inconsistent.
Okay, well they have been unlucky to suffer 2 inconsistent decisions from the Premier League. Well, you have heard our verdict. I usually say something that I gave up on managerial firing the moment Leicester City fired Ricardo Ranieri the season after he won the Premier League against every odd. That moment taught me something. So
you think maybe it's too early for Liverpool to fire at the slot, but if they don't make any decision now in their season.
If you ask me, if Ranieri could be fired 1 season after he won the Premier League with Leicester City,
Leicester City,
you allow anybody can be fired, ladies and gentlemen. Fire slots.